Welcome everyone to the Wake Up Call channel. If you haven't seen the videos I've done on the 2024 Olympic Games from the opening ceremony to the closing ceremony, I highly recommend you check them out and you share it with people so that they can wake up to all of this stuff, because it goes deeper than just liberals and Democrats and conservatives and gaslighting. These are satanic rituals. All of these award shows, all of these ceremonies at Olympic-like events are rituals. And it's very important for them to do this at the Olympics and to do this at the Super Bowl, because these are the highest watched shows on television or on any streaming service. They get the most eyeballs. The opening ceremony, the closing ceremony, the halftime show at the Super Bowl. That's why we always see it there. The Grammys, deliberately done, right? Because they're using this to perform the ritual on you right in front of you. And I wanted to cover a few things from the Olympics that I did not cover yet now that the Olympics have wrapped up. And I want to show you how absolutely unbelievable some of this stuff is. From the Israeli gymnasts to, I'm sure most of you heard about the Olympic boxing champion, Khalif, who clearly was playing a role in the Olympics, and everybody was all upset about how a man punched a woman, and it was playing right into the left, right. And of course, this was all done by design, because right after the Olympics, this same person filed an online harassment complaint where now they're going to have to start actually criminalizing people who are online criticizing this person, because that's how all this stuff works. And this person even showed us, as I'll show you later in the video, that they are, in fact, a member of these same secret societies. We can't make it up. But let me start with this, because the Olympics themselves is a gigantic satanic ceremony. The notion of all the countries getting together and competing is all about the notion of a one world order. All the nations coming together as one, right? The mindset that they constantly feel like they need to push down your throat by playing things like the song Imagine, which is a communist manifesto, where they just outright play for you the lyrics from the Communist Manifesto that Karl Marx wrote. And in my video on Imagine, you can go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. You'll see for yourself all of that. I break that entire thing down. Even a journalist in Poland, a Polish journalist, was suspended for saying "Imagine a vision of communism" during the Olympics when they were playing the song Imagine, because everybody out there should know, and if you don't know, now you do know, that this theme of one is the new world order. That's why there's so many songs called One. That's why they constantly have this theme about togetherness and oneness, is because what they're trying to do is rebuild the Tower of Babel. And this picture right here is worth not 1,000 words, one word: Lucifer. This here, if you didn't see my previous video about this golden Lucifer falling from the sky and these demons summoned over from CERN, this picture sums it up, because what they're doing here is showing you the Tower of Babel. Now, I don't know what anybody out there thinks this actually is. You think that they were just like, hey, how about we all just lay on top of each other and we'll let Lucifer stand on top of us. This is the Tower of Babel. And all of this that they're trying to recreate with the world becoming one, causing all of this chaos by design, is to bring about a one world government. And it goes back to the Bible and the Tower of Babel. I've shown you the themes of the Tower of Babel throughout films, even like Metropolis, which goes back to like the 1940s. They are obsessed with this notion of rebuilding the Tower of Babel. Let me read for you, just if you don't know, because some new Christians don't know, just a quick verse from Genesis chapter 11. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwell there. And they said one to another, "Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly." And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, "Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth." And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men built. And the Lord said, "Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from hence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. So it's very fitting that they would do symbolism to the Tower of Babel, which they've been trying to recreate since they were scattered abroad. And the reason that they're getting closer to achieving this is really all ties back to technology, because they're using technology to connect. I've talked about that. The theme of connect with everyone, the way they use Facebook and talk about Facebook connecting the world. These are all deceptions of the devil to connect everybody together and force everybody into a one world government, which is literally hell on earth. For anybody out there that's falling for this, you're falling for a deception. Oh, everybody will be. The only reason that there is chaos and hatred in this world is because they fuel it and they feed it and they mind control people into it. Does that mean that people would not have fights and arguments and disagreements? Of course not. They're the ones who are behind all of the wars. They're the ones who are behind all of the division, the same ones who want to bring you together for a one world government. So they could be trusted, right? I mean, give me a break. This has always been and always will be about defying God. So let me show you a few other things from, I'm laughing because this is one of the more, laughable things I've probably ever seen. If you didn't know, okay, the Israel's gymnasts at the Olympics went out and performed wearing these outfits with giant all-seeing eyeballs on them, right? I mean, did all of these women, or assuming they're women, did they all end up at the Olympics because they failed out of optometry school? Because you would think their focus would be on their gymnastics, but clearly they want to pay homage to the eyeball. Does anyone know what that means? Well, I know, of course, and you know what it means. The eye of providence, the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, right? Right in front of you. And how convenient who decided to wear it, right? Israel's gymnasts, right? And I say that with a smirk because we all know who the synagogue of Satan is, right? I mean, you know that verse in the Bible? It's in the book of Revelation. Let me read it for you. Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, who say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship at thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So I'm not quite sure who Christians think the synagogue of Satan is in today's world. I guess they just ignore this verse, kind of like a lot of people ignore certain verses that don't fit into their lifestyle. But it's as clear as day. And when you see this specific team at the Olympics wearing this specific outfit, it's very hard not to laugh. And of course, I don't know, maybe they're just fans of every single celebrity on earth, right? Because we've seen every single celebrity taking a picture, holding a hand up over their eye or putting their hair over their eye, or, well, in some cases, like I'm about to show you, putting their gold medal up over their eye, right? Because, like I mentioned earlier, the Olympic boxing champion Aman Khalif filed an online harassment complaint in Paris. And if you didn't hear, this was the person everybody was tweeting about. I didn't do a video about it when it occurred for lots of reasons, because to me, it seemed like this was obviously done deliberately. And all the celebrities out there who play the role of conservative were complaining about it, right? Because everyone was saying that this person is really a man, right? Now, I mean, you could look at this person. I can't say any more than that, but you could judge for yourself. But they were saying it's a man, but it's really supposedly someone who was born female. But people were complaining because that's part of what's going on in today's world, convincing people out there that men are born in the opposite body, that men can have babies, utter insanity, right? So this was the big story at the Olympics that everybody was tweeting about. And turns out that this person won the medal. And of course, what did they do when they won? Well, they held that gold medal up right over their eye. Now, why is that? Does anyone know why that is? I mean, she's not on is she on the Israeli team now? Did she transfer over? Wait a minute. So they like all seeing eyes too? All right. Well, of course, she's putting this over eye because this is exactly what they do. They use signs and symbols to reveal themselves. That entire thing was staged on a world stage. To do what? Well, just like it said in that article. Now that an online harassment complaint has been filed, the government is going to look at people who are bullying online, because remember, they have anti-bullying laws in France and they want those everywhere. And of course, they don't want that to protect Iman Khalif, and they don't want that to protect any confused kids out there. They want that because once you start with one way, one group being protected, it just continues to go, and your speech is fully under attack at all times because the government can decide what you can and cannot say. So this is part of the PSYOP, and so is Iman or Iman or whatever, right? I mean, the name itself, right? Iman, I mean, you can't make it up how obvious it is. And if you didn't think it was a work, well, you see the gold medal over the eye. I mean, how much more obvious can it get? And the other thing, of course, is Simone Biles. And I don't know if that's exactly how you pronounce it, but I think it's fitting to just say Bile, right? Simone Biles, which, I mean, if anyone's going to have debates about who is what and who's what gender, I mean, you could look through the whole list of the athletes at these events, because the majority of them are transhuman anyway. Majority of these people aren't even real humans. They're genetically modified human beings. I mean, this goes back to World War II stuff with eugenics, right? These people that are like doing 75,000 flips in the air. So here is Simone, who won the gold medal, and it's holding something up on her neck. Did anyone get a good look at it? Oh, it's a goat. It's a goat. But remember, as time has moved on over the last couple of years, I've been talking about this for a while, the more people become desensitized, which is the big thing. So 5 to 10 years ago, it was a little bit more like, whoa, yeah, the goat, isn't that associated with Satanism? Now, of course, over and over, every celebrity is claiming to be the greatest of all time, so they've normalized the goat, which is something the occult has wanted to do. So the goat is normalized. So everybody, if you haven't heard, is the greatest of all time. Every celebrity has a tattoo of a goat. I mean, what is Simone the greatest of all time at? Flipping? She flips backwards in the air. She's the greatest at flipping in the air. Wow, wonderful. Isn't that fantastic, right? Of course, holding up the goat, has the goat even on the Olympic uniform, right? Might as well just put Baphomet's sigil right next to it, or have Aleister Crowley's signature right next to it. Same difference, right? Why don't you just do that, Simone? I mean, it's incredible, right? We had Snoop Dogg there. I talked about that in the previous Olympic video. Snoop Dogg wearing the goat necklace as well. And you want me to actually believe that these people think they're the greatest of all time at what? At their, they like to say their craft because, of course, they're all involved in the craft, Freemasonry, the craft. But, I mean, does anyone out there stop and say, yeah, wait a minute, Snoop Dogg, the greatest of all time? Let's name 5 Snoop Dogg songs. I mean, I can't name one, but, I know some people name 2, okay. But, he's the greatest of all time. Why? Well, because he's pushed on the TV and we're told that he is, right? That's all. No big deal. What is he known for? Smoking grass. Other than that, not many people can tell anybody. But I mean, if you're telling me he's a rap artist, I'm pretty sure people could name like 10 rappers that have more songs that are known or popular, right? Eminem, I mean, come on, right? And I don't like any of these people or support them, but the point is that every single one of these people is wearing some type of goat pendant and referring to themselves as a goat. And nobody out there is going, well, why do they keep doing that? Not everybody could be the GOAT, all right? Well, apparently everybody can be. And then that's how we end up where we are now, where the word GOAT is now normalized. And people like me are looked at as conspiracy nuts when, you have celebrities normalizing things like goat yoga. I'm still waiting for somebody to explain the benefits of goat yoga. Now, I've exposed yoga itself in Aleister Crowley and why it's normalized and the chakra and all that stuff and, demonic entities that can enter. People out there are like, oh, they don't want to hear it. They don't hear it because they love their yoga. They never thought for 5 seconds why all of a sudden they started pushing yoga on everybody, right? And now they push yoga where they have a goat on their back to do it. Kevin Hart, the Kardashians, all these people out there telling you to do goat yoga. Oh yeah, that makes sense, right? Yeah, let me put a heavy goat on my back that could trounce my back while I'm doing cat arches or whatever they call them. I mean, they are normalizing the goat like never before. And they get away with it because the dumber society gets, the more they can normalize all of these things, like the goat, like, adulting children, or even, like I just talked about, Iman Khalif, right? They can normalize because as time goes by, that's the point here with the stuff with the trans. As time goes by, people just accept it and they move on. They go, oh, whatever, we're past that now. It's 2025, it's 2030. I guess men are born in the opposite bodies. I guess kids could have surgeries. Instead of actually stopping this. Because they have no plans. The elites have no plans in stopping it. because we're not stopping them from doing it. So more time goes by, the more this stuff gets normalized. That's how we have goats out in the open. That's how we have men boxing women at the Olympics to win gold medals. Utter insanity, really. That's how we have the Israeli gymnasts wearing eyeballs on their outfit and people out there not blinking, right? Or we could just go all the way back to the beginning, not even just the notion of Imagine, which is a communist manifesto having to be sung at the Olympics. How about just the whole thing with Lucifer, with CERN, with the demons that they did at the closing ceremony, not to mention the opening ceremony with all the other nonsense that they did in that, in that specific ceremony, right? You got the Tower of Babel being recreated. Can you not see what's going on here? Apparently many people out there can't, but thankfully people like me and you can. So I wanted to do another video and just show more of the stuff that I saw at the Olympics. The Tower of Babel, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they should just call the Olympic Games. Just call it the Olympic Tower of Babel. Just call it the Tower of Babel show. I mean, it's pretty much what it is. And everybody out there doesn't think past it. They don't go, well, yeah. They're like, isn't it great all the countries are getting together as one? They don't think what the word one means, why they're obsessed with one, because they want to bring you back to the Tower of Babel. They want to defy God to the fullest, right? God's the one who scrambled the language. God's the one who divided people into nations, right? They don't want that. They think they're winning on Judgment Day. They think they're going to build an army to defeat God on Judgment Day. That's how insane these people are. But with the technology that they have and mixing of iron and clay and what we're going to see with human beings being transformed into machine and human, or, what you're seeing at the Olympics with the eugenics, well, they actually have a reason, I guess, in their own minds to believe that they can, because they believe that they're going to live forever. And there's even Bible verses in Revelation about those who will seek death and not be able to find it. But all of this is biblical. All of it. It baffles me. People find my channel, they're like, man, this stuff's great. Oh, you really see everything. Everything but the Jesus part, right? Oh, and what is their obsession with Jesus and spitting on Jesus and mocking Christians? Oh, to gaslight us, right? No, it's not actually. Their enemy is clear. Their enemy is God. It's very clear. The Bible is a blueprint. It shows us through prophecy, through God's word, through God's law. Look at God's laws, and then look at all the stuff that they try to normalize. Even the stuff with how a man dresses and a woman dresses, it's all biblical. And they're doing it out in the open. They're not doing it to gaslight. They're doing it because they worship Lucifer, and Lucifer's laws are the exact opposite of God's. It's an inversion. So every single thing that God calls a sin, they want to normalize, and they are. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless all of you as always and your families.